You left the Young Turks. They're kind of imploding right now. How did you become such a lightning in a bottle? How did you catch that lightning in the bottle when you left and you went all on your own, Jimmy? Because you're on fire right now.
Well, it's a real weird trick. I decided to tell the truth and speak from my heart, and people kind of connect with that. Whereas the Young Turks took $20 million from Jeffrey Katzenberg, who now is a big owner of the Young Turks, although they'll lie to you and tell you that that was a loan that they paid off. That's not what that was. Jeffrey Katzenberg, now they have a corporate board, and they now have several people from several different private equity firms that sit on their corporate board. So this idea, so Cenk just made up a lie one day when he was on Rising and said, oh, we paid that back. That wasn't a loan. That was them buying into your company. Anyway, so that's how I did it. What they did was they started to say things that would appeal to another donor. Just like a politician, Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian started to think of what would appeal to another donor, which is why they smeared Julian Assange, which is why they smeared the anti-war journalists at the Gray Zone, which is why they did a fake hashtag Me Too against me, which nobody believed because they told totally different stories. And if anybody was sexually harassed there, it was me, because Anna Kasparian couldn't stop flashing her junk in the studio. But so that was my. That was my secret to success, is to go on YouTube and just speak from the heart. And turns out people connected with me.
No, and you're on fire. And, you know, seeing Anna Kasparian naked, I don't know. That doesn't sound like that bad of a gig. Real quick, and I don't want to talk about the Young Turks all the time, but I want to play this clip because the reason why I ask is, do you think they're imploding? I do see a division between Anna and Cenk, and I think that Hassan, Cenk's cousin, is causing a lot of this. We put together a little montage of Anna's kind of most recent flare-up. So let's play this, and I want to get your instant reaction.
The majority of the left wing is perfectly reasonable on this.
Are they?
You give those tiny little leftist streamers way too much
They're
credit.
not tiny little leftist streamers, Cenk. Hassan called the city council member racist for
I don't
helping
care.
this woman.
Did you know Jimmy Kimmel featured one of Hassan's tweets on last night's show?
I know, everyone loves Hassan. He's super famous and rich. We got it. Like, why the fuck didn't I just play video games? Why the fuck didn't I just play video games? Maybe I'd be a fucking millionaire if I did that. God damn it.
Anna Kasparian. Anna says, I did make that comment about Hassan because he's a POS who throws family under the bus to appease the rabid mob in his audience.
Wait, what? I don't make things up, but my point is that this stuff turns people off. It's not really controversial. The bonus hole.
The transgender community is important. However, when you move out of or move far away from making sure that they are not denied housing, making sure that they're not denied healthcare, when you move into like these more fringe areas, an LGBTQ group in the UK who suggested that instead of referring to vaginas as vaginas because it might be offensive to transgender men,
yeah, this kind of stuff I hate so much. Again, it's always like marginal shit. Like, who cares?
What's happening? It sounds like there's, trouble brewing.
There sounds like it. Yeah, it's I think it's fantastic. I love to listen to. That's Cenk's nephew, by the way, Hassan.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, very familiar. I'm just saying, is she that jealous? Anna sounds so jealous. And she, why is she so jealous? I mean, I guess because Hassan's much more successful and richer than her.
I think it's because she does have a vagina, and she doesn't have the balls of a meathead like Hassan Piker to go out and do her own show. Why does she not go out? I don't understand why those people stay there. Why wouldn't you go out and do your own show? Why would you sit there and have a boss your whole life? Why would you sit there and have a corporate board? Why would you sit there and have a human resource department? Why would you do all that stuff? Because she doesn't believe in herself. So that's her being angry at someone who's more successful than her, that's her MO. She's angry that I was more successful than her. She's angry that I was always more successful than her. I had a career before I ever came to the Young Turks. I was already had Comedy Central specials that were chosen Best of the Year by iTunes, won awards, and I was already on every late night talk show. I was already had a fully formed life and a career when I came to the Young Turks, and then I just smoked right past them. And she doesn't have the balls to do what you need to do, which is go out and do it by yourself. She's got a camera. She's got access to YouTube. Why does she need to get in her car and drive to a studio that was paid for by Jeffrey Katzenberg so she could do the exact same thing she could do at her own house? Why? Because she doesn't have the confidence in herself. Why? And I think it's real because She did try to do her own show. It was for that Jacobin magazine, and nobody watched. Nobody watched. They barely got 1,000 views per video. So I think she found out that nobody really gives a shit about her, and the only reason that anybody listens to anything she says is because she's on the Young Turks platform, which was an important platform on the left at one time. But right now it's not. And Cenk Uygur is just a corporate whore, like the politicians he tries to skewer. He's just a partisan hack and a liar. And that's why he ends up smearing people like Aaron Mate and anti-war journalists and people like Julian Assange. They still have that video up where he said Julian Assange is not to be trusted. So that's the kind of journalism you get over at I don't understand why anybody watches the Young Turks, because there's already MSNBC and CNN, and they have much better production values.
You nailed it. Why would you even need them? And they do actually make probably a better program at MSNBC.
My grind so refined, I got no time for no games.